Welcome to the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Brasco. Today, we're joined here by Omar, and we're also here with Super Baymax or Jared. Guys, welcome to the podcast. And just joining in also is Monster Jam Loser Texas or Douglas. So, guys, welcome to the podcast as the World Finals has come and gone.
Yeah, I was there.
Me, and it has.
All right, so we're going to start off, obviously, first with the Monster Jam World Finals announcement. The new World Finals location is going to be at Salt Lake City, so it'll be there for the first time. It'll stay on the West Coast next year for 2025. No information on when the tickets will be on sale, as far as I know, but still a pretty groundbreaking announcement for World Finals. So that was the first thing that was announced at the press conference. Just wanted to get that over. So then we go to qualifying, and qualifying had some pretty good moments. Obviously, Tyler Menega, he's been fast. He got the qualifying win, so he was the fastest qualifier leading into the World Finals. And then last chance qualifier racing took place right at the end. And how about it? David Alford and Velociraptor got the win and became the 24th competitor. So we're going to start off here. We're first going to go with Omar, then Jared, and then Douglas. That's how the order will go when I ask the questions. So we'll start off with Omar. What do you think of qualifying night?
Well, I didn't get to watch qualifying much, but for what I saw, last chance qualifier was pretty good. I liked the lineup that we had for that. And my biggest surprise here was Dalton Widener getting like 6th or 7th place in qualifying in his first World Finals. And man, did Zach Garner look fast during qualifying.
All right, so now, Jared, what did you think of the qualifying night that was on Friday?
I got many things to say, honestly. It was fast, it was interesting as well, and it had many stories as well. Tyler Menega was one who I would expect to go fast, because, well, for one, he's been doing amazing, and I believe, what stage was he on again? Who knows? Anyway, though, but yeah, Tyler Menega has been on a roll recently from this as well, and he was supporting with the new Gradinger purple paint scheme. It was pretty amazing. So one of my favorite natives out of my home state, from Iowa as well. That was a pretty amazing night as well. And then you mentioned last stage qualifier. There are many great names in there, but no one I probably wouldn't expect that Mr. Too Tall David Olford will come out there and get the last best position in Velociraptor. So hats off to him as well. I'm taking my hat off to him as well. So hats off to you.
All right, and now, Douglas, what do you think of last chance qualifying and qualifying?
I didn't watch very much on qualifying because, I was kind of busy at the time and I didn't really care. But when I did watch it, when I got home, David Olford, to me, how do I put this? He's a very underrated driver, and he doesn't really get the exposure that he deserves. And I haven't seen him go very far in racing, as much as I know. But I didn't expect him to be as fast as he did. He was clocking in I think 18 seconds on that racing course, which very surprised me.
Douglas, if I may pitch in there real quick. I do have to agree with you there. I actually wasn't expecting David Olford and many other superstars. And I'm going to mention Zach Garner in one of those as well. But believe me, I was not expecting him to make it to the finals as well. Though. And I'm going to talk more about this stuff. But I did want to say, I did watch some of the qualifying while I was out of my town for Special Olympics competition at state, which I went 2 gold.
That Garner was also one of my picks for racing, and he was incredibly fast on that course. He
Yeah,
was
he was
up
pretty
there.
much. Sorry if I'm interrupting, but he was pretty fast the whole entire weekend. Again, we will get to Saturday.
It was just I think he was like up there. I think he was second in qualifying, I believe. I don't know. But Zach Garner, I didn't expect him to be so fast in racing. But after seeing his qualifying time, I kind of just thought he has a chance. And we'll talk about racing later.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But first, I do want to mention also the pretty much the new designs as well as the designs that they brought back. I'm really glad that they decided to do that. We had El Toro Loco Nitro come back with Joe Foley, and Jamie Gardner had the yellow El Toro Loco. That truck hasn't been seen since I believe 2016 or 17. So it was fresh to see that truck back, and I'm glad they're still doing the alternative paints, even if it's just for the last chance qualifier. But
And
also,
then we had other cars in there, like Tony Elks with, I
oh
believe
yeah,
it was the inverse Roris.
yep. I was gonna get to that. The brand new inverse colored Thunder Roars with Tony Oaks, just a beautiful looking truck, arguably looking better than the original truck. There's also the new purple Kraken, beautiful design, and then Jester with Maddie just went and got this silver design, which is a little taste for next year with a new anniversary for Jester. So that's just a really great design they picked this year. So yeah, that whole night, not just with the racing product, but also the new trucks were definitely a surprise, and I'm glad they went for that. Now,
Indeed, the pit
so
party was already amazing.
yep. So now shifting gears, we go to the main deal, the Saturday show, the official World Finals day. Pit Party had quite a few surprises. The original Jurassic Attack design in the Pit Party, as well as the first rebirth of Jurassic Attack, I believe, on display, like the more bluish design. There was quite a few things. Tom Mentz was there. Um, Jamie Gardner, I believe Mark Hall and a couple other guys went and
Thomas, real quick, going back to
made
Tom
Shake
Mintz, though.
Me
Oh,
restored. And Tom,
yeah,
obviously emotional, but still, it was just great to see that mud truck restored. Just beautiful piece.
Thomas, you mentioned emotional, by the way. That there's a lot of emotional stories that we got to talk about as well. Tom Mintz was one of them as well, and the fact that they got Shake Me, I never knew about the Shake Me, a mud truck, I believe it was. I'm not sure, but that was something that Thomas had loved to see as well, and that was pretty amazing. So, wow.
I didn't expect
Yep.
for Shake Me to be restored. That was quite a surprise when I was watching.
Yeah, that was
And
just. Yeah, go ahead.
and and Tom got really emotional seeing it. I gotta say it was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, it was just really great to see. I'm glad he's got it back. So now, the pit party actually still kept going through the first two competitions because I think you had to have a certain pass or something. I don't know, but so then we have our first competition, the Skills World Championship, and immediately out of the park, we saw new rules of the competition. That there's, I believe they had the same rules as the inaugural Skills World Championship, and that's having it as 2 rounds. I'm glad they had it. So the first round was pretty much like a warm up, but the second round they were trying some new stuff. And then we have Armando Castro and El Toro Loco. He went for a nose wheelie, and he had that balance perfectly. But then he went into this little part of the racing lane, gassed on it, and did a full backflip. Just immediately out of the gate, a huge moment in the Monster Jam World Finals. And everybody was going crazy. Armando is your skills world champion. An unbelievable sight. We're going to get your thoughts on the Skills World Championship. We're going to start with you, Omar. What you thought?
Well, all I gotta say about skills is I think there was only one good highlight, and that was Armando's run. But I mean, Tyler being able to do a nose wheelie over the step up into he put it down and then got it into another wheelie and then rolled it over. But other than that, Blake Granger trying to do a reverse backflip from a maximum moonwalk, and then Zach Garner had some pretty good balance in there too. So I'll give it that. Yeah.
All right, so now, Jared, what do you think of the Skills World Championship?
Well, that's some good head thoughts there, Omar. But there's a lot of things that I honestly was rooting for as well. One of the drivers I was actually rooting for, who I believe won the first round of 2 of Skills, was none other than Weston Anderson and Gradiger. I mean, I was pulled for Weston as well, and Scott. I believe Scott Douglas was another man who was, I believe, rooting for him. But this was a freestyle, so we're not going to go there, I believe. So, but who knows? But Weston Anderson, and he pulled off a good, amazing run in the first round as well. And I was really rooting for him as well. But then out of the gate, Armando Castro comes out with a crazy ball, and as you mentioned, just sticks the nose really, and then just goes for the unthinkable rotation, and just backflips the sucker on the wheels. And what can it more can you say other than what a run for the crazy bull, and also a real tribute to, I believe, his sister who had passed away sadly.
Yeah, but now, Douglas, what do you think of the Skills World Championship?
Now that I had plenty of time to think about it, there were some good moments, but overall it was okay. I actually didn't even know there was 2 rounds. I'm not sure if they announced it, but I didn't even know. So I thought Weston won at first, and I was like, okay, that was underwhelming. But then they were working on trucks in the back, and they just suddenly announced that there was round 2, and I feel like they could have put in better communication, but that's just a minor nitpick.
Oh, they
Yeah,
actually did announce that there was 2 rounds of it, but they waited until the competition began, just before the first truck went out for the first round.
maybe I wasn't even listening, but I was completely unaware.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so overall, I enjoyed that competition. Obviously, a lot of crazy things happened. A lot of great talent behind the wheel, just showing their stuff. Obviously, um, with Tyler, Weston, Zach, even Blake, and really the whole field had at least one big moment throughout their runs, and especially Armando Castro. Again, congratulations to him on his Skills World Championship.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Like, I was watching it live just like everyone else, and once he did that, I just stood up and just started yelling. And even my mother, who's
I
not even a Monster Jam fan, was admitting that was impressive.
well, my mother. I gotta kind of point that out, by the way, Douglas. My mother was actually upstairs during this, and secondly, I had to go back to see what they were talking about. And then when I saw that thing, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Mhm.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the High Jump World Championship. So obviously with that one, there's no scoring involved. It is all through a system. One by one, drivers were going off and trying to send the truck higher. Some challenges were in the way, especially with the I believe it was the concrete or the diamond plate, whatever it was, starting to seep through. But then we had the winning run, and that being Colt Stevens and Thunder Roars in his second World Finals back. Just last year, he got a Freestyle World Championship. This year, he gets a second title, this time being the High Jump Championship, just getting over 30 feet, I believe 31 feet around that rank. But still, very
31.3.
impressive. He was the only one to get around that, and he got the championship. So, obviously, that competition, a lot better than what they had last year. So now, overall picks. Let's see, Omar. What'd you think of the high jump championship?
Well, like all the other competitions, I didn't watch much of it. Um, all I know is Jamie Garner just like absolutely sent it. I watched it after like today. I watched it, but there were some pretty good attempts there.
Jared, what about you?
Yeah, like Omar said, I haven't really kept that much with the high jump championship though, but I did get a little bit of a taste of what Colt Stevens did. That was kind of what I actually had saw. And I don't want to leave out my man Bryce Pitty though, because I did see his run in there, which I do believe he got third place in that event as well, if I'm correct.
I don't remember from the top of my head.
I think he did though, but nevertheless, hats off to the man so basically the guy who was like sock headfuckers, the breaking world records, as I would like to call it as well.
And now, Douglas, what about you?
Unlike the others, I actually watched the whole thing, and I do gotta say, it was pretty entertaining just seeing like trucks go higher and higher, and the winner was never really a certainty, because like I thought Jamie was gonna win, then somebody else came out, went even higher, someone else came out, went even higher. It just kept going, and it was entertaining, I gotta say. And even though high jump is kind of a pointless championship because they don't have it in like normal shows, which I think they should, this one actually kept me on the edge of my seat, and I'm happy Colt Stevens got his second ever world title.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about the stunts. Just to get that out of the way before we get to the two main conversations of the podcast. So first of all, the JCB crew, after the Skills World Championship, did a little performance for the people who were in the stadium early. Then after high jump, we got the our first monster truck stunt, and that is Caleb Blood in Sparkle Smash, debuting the truck, going through a steel wall of cars, flawless, and did some donuts showcasing the truck. So obviously fans have wanted this truck back for a while, or in the Monster Jam circuit, excuse me, ever since the truck was made in a Spin Master form, and they finally did it this year with the World Finals. So let's go ahead and let's go over what you guys think. So first, we'll start with Omar. What did you think of the stunt, and what do you think of the truck?
It was pretty cool seeing a wall of steel because I have never seen a wall of steel. And the truck is something, I'll tell you that. I was hoping that it would actually resemble the actual toy, but it's got like a short nose and it's got more of like an open window, which I get because you gotta. Well, actually, no, because when you're in a truck, you can't really see side to side, so I don't know if it really matters if it was open or something more. But one thing that I noticed is like if you look closely at the truck, if you were there, I'm sure you'll see it when you go to MetLife, Thomas. But the back of the truck, it looks like it's made out of like it's like a, it's kind of fiberglass, but it moves back and forth like how Mohawk
Inflatables.
Warriors is. Um, but yeah, other than that, I don't know what to say about the truck.
All right,
Yeah.
Jared, what do you think of the stunt, and what do you think of Sparkle Smash debuting?
I actually want to point that out to Omar though. Those actually look like, I believe those were inflatables on top of Sparkle Smash as well. Now
They were.
the stunt actually, I love a good wall of steel in there. But to any old school fans who love an old good old wall of steel clash, like I actually watched a little bit of some wall of steel crashes that Dennis Harrison did with Mr. Destruction as well. To any of you who still watch those, I praise you for that. I praise you all. But yeah, and the fuck is alright as well. Like Omar said, it has some of its flaws as well, and but all in all, I love what they did for Sparkle Smash as well. And I cannot wait to see what Caleb Blood does with that 600-pound unicorn and sends it up into the air as well. Looks pretty amazing.
All right, and now Douglas, what do you think of the stunt and Sparkle Smash?
Going back to the beginning when it was first revealed, I didn't like it, most with other fans. But when the day actually came and it was actually revealed, I was pretty mixed at first because, like Omar said, it had a small nose and it just looked kind of weird compared to the Spin Master. But like when I actually saw it on track, it actually didn't look that bad, honestly. And
Now,
yeah,
if I may actually interrupt you as well, though. And then I also do want to point out not only the Spin Master, but it also kind of a little bit of a resemblance, because I was expecting a little bit of resemblance from its Steel Titans 2 look back then as well, if y'all had played Steel Titans
yeah,
2 as
that.
well. I just want to point that out.
Oh yeah, and also yeah, it just looks a bit smaller compared to Steel Titans and like the Spin Master. It just looks a bit different. Like the nose, obviously the windows, and I expected the horns and like the ears to be fiberglass, but no, they're actually inflatables, which to me is actually pretty smart to save on money. And of course the stunt. I feel like they could have done better, but a wall of steel was actually pretty cool to see, considering that they got rid of crush cars, obviously. And Caleb Blood, I think, fits perfectly with a truck. I expected Jamie Sullivan to actually drive it, and Caleb Blood can stay in Soldier Fortune, but I personally think they go great together, and I really do want to see the truck, honestly.
Yep. So,
Pretty amazing. Obviously, there's also other stunts you're going to mention as well, which my next stunt is kind of interesting. I wanted to talk about as well.
yeah, we'll get to that one. So now my thoughts. The stunt, obviously, I loved that they went for the wall of steel approach. Kind of giving the old school fans a little bit of satisfaction from the crush car stuff, but also with the limited track that they had for space like that, I think they did a phenomenal job with using the space for a stunt like that. And the Sparkle Smash truck now, the theme I'm a little mixed about, but the truck itself, I think, with how the truck looks in person, well, with the photos that I saw, I think it fits with how in a Monster Jam event would go, because obviously you need some visibility, and I think what they did, obviously it might look a little off, but honestly, I think with what they did with the truck, I think it's useful, especially for Caleb Blood. So obviously this
Were you
was
expecting
needed.
AJ? Were you expecting AJ Lee's theme to actually play in there instead, Thomas?
What was that?
Were you expecting AJ Lee's theme to play during that?
Uh, well,
One
the
of the
theme
famous
itself, I
WWE
was
wrestlers.
oh well that I was I don't know, but yeah,
It's all right.
yeah, so yeah, with the theme, it was completely custom. I think from I think it's from some group who makes monster truck themes. I don't know.
Well, I think I
But
know.
still,
I think I know who wrote it because, like, I do have, I do know someone that like went to the charity event today at the time we're recording, and he was actually talking to Sydney Mack, and apparently she sang it along with the Thunder Roar song, which I highly doubt, but apparently Sydney Mack actually wrote the theme song for Sparkle Smash, which I found very
Look
interesting.
in.
yep. So the truck's officially now here. Caleb Blood, moving away from Soldier Fortune and now to Sparkle Smash. The truck is going to make its official in-competition debut at MetLife Stadium when Monster Jam returns after a 1-week hiatus. So, overall, I thought the encore was
You're going
okay.
to be going there,
I'm
correct,
glad
Thomas?
that the truck is here. What?
You're going to be going there, I assume, right?
Yes, I'll be at MetLife Stadium. So I'll be seeing the truck in person.
Wish I could go with you, though. I wish I could actually go there, though, but I can't fly all the way to Iowa to East Rutherford.
Here we go. All right, so now we are gonna move on to the next encore after racing. So we're gonna get to racing, but we're just still going over the stunts. So the second and final stunt of the night. This was in between racing and freestyle. Fortnite obviously was doing some promotion at the event. It started off on Thursday at the press conference where somebody was cosplaying as one of the characters in Fortnite, and that started to make the
With Omar,
rounds
I believe.
on social media. Then on Friday, I believe, I think Friday we started to see something like some banners around the place. But then Saturday they had a display with a custom truck, and then they pulled out the. I think that's yeah, it's supposed to be like the battle bus, but then we have the truck itself come out doing a jump to start off, and then goes for the bus, jumps over it, and then for the second time purposely slows down and completely demolishes the bus. Um,
Rest in
oh,
peace.
and I forgot to mention also after the first jump, he actually rolled the truck and saved it and kept going. The one who was driving it, I believe it was Charlie Pauken again.
Yes, it was.
y- Yeah, okay, but yeah, it's great that he got to be a part of the World Finals in some capacity. So honestly, I enjoyed the encore. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I actually liked it because it was just full of destruction and classic Charlie Pauken stuff. We're gonna start with Omar. What'd you think of that?
What was that again?
It was the Fortnite encore with Charlie Pauken.
Oh, I saw that. I was there for that. I think that he may have had a little too much throttle when going over the jump because, as we saw from the video, he jumped over it and he like tumbled over. He jumped over and he kind of landed on the back of the cage, and then he turned around, went a little bit slower again for the to actually crush it this time, and then he went around again and hit it from the side, and then he went and he parked. It was pretty cool. Um, but what I've seen from like after that, if you look very closely, I'll post a photo later. uh, There's a two red headlights in the back when they were playing that little teaser thing.
All right, now, Jared, what did you think of the encore, the Fortnite one?
Okay, there's a lot I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, for one, I actually hey, my man who plays Fortnite. All right. I want to get that out of the way. Hey, again, I'm a man who plays Fortnite myself and stuff, and no controversy. Hey, y'all, I don't want anyone pitchforks in my house. But yeah, oh no, I love it as well. They even showed a little bit of a sneak peek for the Chapter 5 Season 3 trailer as well, which looks pretty interesting as well. I don't know if any of you people out there who play Fortnite, like myself, have kept up with a little bit of the lines, though, but yeah. I don't know, though. I actually quite enjoy the truck designs. Now, uh, I believe what Omar was talking a little bit about, there's a little bit of Easter eggs from the truck as well that we're going to be talking a little bit about the new season back then as well. If some of the stalls in there, I know if Omar actually had a little image of that in there as well, but I'm I'm going to see real quick if Omar's already posted a little. I don't know, that's not it. Okay, this image though, I actually have never seen that before, Omar. And that's something I've never seen. Hey, I don't know if you all see this, but the red headlights, if that's freaking greater, I'm gonna probably enjoy this a little bit because it's interesting. Now, some of the stuff, that was destruction. I love the destruction at the end as well. Having Charlie talking, it's icing on the cake as well. Looks pretty amazing. And Charlie Pauken's a good man for a lot of stuff. I praise him for getting a lot, doing a lot, doing something at World Finals as well. Again, I'm sorry if I'm starting a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. But it was pretty decent as well, though. And yeah, also a lot of stuff that Fortnite season is going to be coming out with a little bit, though. But we'll have to wait and see because I mean I'm going to have to wait and see because I'll be checking this new season out.
All right, and now Douglas, what did you think of that?
I'll just say what everyone else was thinking as they were watching it. Uh, I thought the Fortnite Battle Bus was actually for freestyle, but I actually didn't even know that they were gonna have a halftime encore. But when the truck actually came out, not gonna lie, it jumping out of the tunnel, not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And
That was pretty amazing, yeah.
and it flying over the battle bus, honestly, just it could have been better. It would have been much better if it just plowed through the bus instead, which actually was, I think, made
Literally,
out of cardboard.
literally,
I
just
think it would
literally
have
just
been
plowing
much
through,
better.
but they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
pretty
think you
amazing.
can all tell it wasn't even a real bus. It was just cardboard or drywall or something along those lines.
I mean, it kind of looks a little bit like it, though, in my perspective, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it did. And the way that the truck rolled over after the first jump, not gonna lie, that was cool. It
Yeah,
honestly
oh,
made
rest
the
in peace
truck
to
jump
that
a
body,
bit
though. It looks
better.
amazing.
Yeah, he completely destroyed it.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get to the main course, and that is, of course, the Racing and Freestyle World Championships, the two most important and prestigious championships in monster truck history. We started off with the Racing World Championship, a lot of upsets, and yeah, multiple flip overs, chokes, close racing. It pretty much had it all. And crazy to think, after 2 rounds, obviously Kristen Anderson was one of the Gravediggers. She was in round 1. Meanwhile, Weston Anderson, Tyler Menega, Adam Anderson, and Ryan Anderson were in round 2. All of them got eliminated. So after round 2, there was no Gravediggers left. So it was pretty much uh it was still pretty unpredictable because Tyler has been fast all time, pretty much the whole entire week. But as I predicted, he would fumble in the main show because usually, as I've seen in the past, the fastest qualifiers usually don't do so well in the main event. Now, after a couple of rounds go by, we make it to the final round. Reigning racing champion Tristan England, JCB Digatron, Zach Gardner Wildside, his father, Jamie Gardner, watching. Emotions are high. Race begins, and Zach puts on a spectacular run. Tristan just messes up a little bit in the final corner, and then they come to the line, and everybody freaks out. Zach Garner is World Finals Racing Champion, and I'm gonna be honest, I was freaking out too. And obviously I had to do it silently. Everybody was going to sleep, and it was like what, like 10 or 11 o'clock, and I'm on the East Coast, so I was pretty much just freaking out silently. So, and then we saw the moment where everybody was hugging, and then father and son meeting up by the truck, hugging each other. Honestly, I was tearing up by that point. Um, it was just a beautiful, beautiful moment, and it was just a very fitting end to the Racing World Championship. And not only that, but also for Zach, it was just even more important that he beat the reigning racing champion straight up in the final round. It just felt that much bigger. So we're gonna start off with your opinions. Omar, what did you think of the Racing World Championship this year?
Man, I I really do not. I have no words because I mean, just seeing that in person, um, probably the best competition for racing I've ever seen. You know, you got your generic racing, but what we saw in LA for at SoFi Stadium was just on another level. I have never seen a racing competition.
Okay, so now, Jared, what did you think of the Racing World Championship?
Honestly, a lot of things I say about this, though. originally I was pulling off for Mr. Dalton Weiner in Jurassic Attack, who I saw this year in Moline as well. And believe me, I had a lot of hope for him, though. He had some good moments, and I believe one of them came from facing off against Tom the Duke and Megalodon, where he really almost went and almost lost it there. But again, and Zach Gardner, or now you hear this a lot though. There's a lot of drivers who nobody talks about. Uh, names being Brian Bartle, who drove Wolverine back then as well. Zach Gardner was going to be one of them who was in my head, not talk a lot about though. But I think Zach proved me wrong, and again, a lot of emotions were high in there as well. Jamie Garner watching over him. And then even Tom Mintz was over there as well, cheering him on, because Tom Mintz, I believe, actually had at Zach Gardner back in Montreal University, and then a lot of other famous names there. And it was amazing, honestly. And I was all, and yeah, honestly, what more can I say other than congratulations to Zach Gardner and Wild Side? Because, man, I was not expecting that, and I was proud of him off. And I knew this was going to be a thing. The blue lane was going to be something that drivers were talking about as well. And the moment Zach Gardner went to the blue lane and put Kristen in the red lane, I was actually saying to myself, he's going to get it. I'm calling it there, and what do you know? I was screaming my dang butt off. I thought, and yeah, that was so amazing.
Now, Douglas, what did you think of the Racing World Championship and Zach winning?
Holy moly, that was one heck of a racing. I can't say anything that's already been said, but racing was just off the hook. And skipping to the final round, Tristan, I expected him to win over Zach, even though Zach was my pick along with Team Throttle. I actually didn't expect Zach Garner to pull it off. He actually did it. I'm happy for him. So much so that when he broke down in freestyle, I didn't really care because he won a world championship.
Yeah, pretty much when you win that first championship, pretty much the pressure's off, and you just have to just go on and see if see if you could do it. But
yeah.
Anyway.
And keep this in mind, though, Thomas. Though I know many PK drivers that want to go for a double down, and the only man who was actually able to double down in the World Finals was none other than Professor Tom Mintz as well. I'm looking forward to see someone do it, but who knows? It may happen next year.
Yeah, it is crazy. He's the only one that's done racing and freestyle wins in the same night, even after all these years. Now, we are going to wrap things up with the Freestyle World Championship. There was quite a few big moments. Jim Kohler sending it. Dalton Weiner in his first World Finals appearance, he did a phenomenal job. There was also Jamie Sullivan. She did a great job. There was a few runs that was able to fill in the clock, but there was actually quite a few truck breakages throughout, as the track was actually pretty tricky for freestyle. And then eventually we moved on. Ryan Anderson had a pretty good run, crazy save, but did not fill in the clock all the way. Cannon Murphy had a decent run. But the one who got away is the only pick that I had that actually was correct. That being Tyler Menega in Gravedigger. He had a phenomenal run, filled in the clock all the way, 2 backflips, one backflip that was actually in a completely different spot that nobody thought was going to happen. He used the whole floor, and he managed to get that Freestyle World Championship. So before I give my thoughts on freestyle, we'll go over to you guys. First, Omar, what do you think?
I mean, the start of freestyle, I just want to say that it was a very tough and track out there, but I'm not trying to say that it was very ass, but it kind of was. Some of the runs there, they just did not fill at least a minute, which I don't blame them. That track was just absolutely a shit fest of a track. I mean, you had the transfers, but you could get caught up and roll over. And yeah, and then the track very difficult. I think the moment was the last few competitors: Camden, Ryan, Tristan, Tyler, all of those guys. Man, they went for it. But another good run was Dalton. I think he got hoed by Jamie Sullivan. And yeah.
All right, so let's see, Jared. Yeah, Jared, what do you think of the Freestyle World Championship this year?
All right, I'm gonna have to ask this before. Can you actually hear me? Because my earbuds were about ready to die there for a sec. So can you all hear me still?
Yep, you're good.
All right, and many things honestly though, because what more can you say honestly? A lot of action tracks though, and Omar, I'm gonna have to. You're gonna probably have some affiliate entertainment coming at your door next time. I'm sorry. But yeah, honestly, it was action packed. A lot of stuff happening as well, and then there's a lot of things that many of us haven't talked about, and that was some of the truck breakages though, because then we haven't had a lot of drivers actually come back after they broke in racing. And names like Colvin Arndt at Black Pearl, he didn't get to compete, and then you have the likes of Blake Ranger and Max D as well. So. And then I believe Tanner Murphy was another one of them in the middle round back then too. But yeah, but all in all, freestyle was amazing. And to be honest, what more can he say other than the Iowa native himself, Tyler Meninga, going out with a bang and just grabbing the dub? Because why not? He has to be the go to freestyle. Other than, I'm going to say Thomas or Dennis Harrison, but I'm not the one to judge, so I'll shut up about that.
All right, now Douglas, what did you think of freestyle?
I'll be honest and I'm pretty sure it's much different for people that was there. I don't know, Omar can probably comment on that, but like just watching it from home, it just kind of dragged on. Like most of the trucks were braking, of course, couldn't even fill the time. It just kind of got very boring up until the very end where Camden, Ryan, Tyler, etc. all came out, where they actually laid out pretty decent runs and not actually braking. And I don't know if it's just me, but I think Feld was actually a lot more strict in this event compared to other events. Because, like, they just shut him off even if the tires flatten or something. Freestyle 75% of the time was just kind of boring. It just kind of reassures that they really need to go back to 2-day events and just change up the track, because it seems like they're focusing way too much on racing and they really should also focus on freestyle, because that really does show that they need to go back to 2 days.
All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap things up. So Douglas unfortunately had to go, but however, we are just about to wrap things up. And overall thoughts on the World Finals. So I'm gonna start off with myself, and this might be a like this might be honestly
Hello?
not so agreed on or something like that, but honestly, this year's World Finals, compared to the ones that we've had since 2019, pretty much the rotational World Finals, 2019, 2022, 23, and now 2024. I think this World Finals is the best out of those. It has just the energy, it has the crowd. The crowd was very enthusiastic. They were all going crazy. There was a DJ there. The stunts were really, really well done. The competitions had like at least like some major highlights that stood out. Of course, we got to talk about the racing final. That one was absolutely emotional. It was just perfect, and of course, the freestyle winner was deserved, as well as the skills winner, and high jump was a lot better than the last previous years. So, with all that said, I thought that this year's World Finals in the rotational era is the best one out of them, and according to and obviously for like the World Finals that we've had from the beginning all the way to here. This is easily, for me personally, this might not be agreed on, but I think this is a top 5 World Finals. Like, this was honestly very enjoyable. So we're gonna start off now with Omar. What did you think of World Finals 23 as a whole?
Like you said, it's the top 5 World Finals. That's just my opinion.
Short and sweet. I like it. Now, Jared, what did you thought of World Finals this year? Was it great? Was it mid? Was it okay? Or was it bad?
Well, like you said, it had some great moments in there, top 5 as well. I love what a lot of the drivers have brought up as well. Yeah, Armando Castro, coming out of nowhere with that amazing move in the skills competition. And then you had other names in there from high jump, like Cole Stevens, hats off to him as well. And then freestyle was well-deserved. But the one that stood out to me as well had to be racing. Zach freaking Gardner in the wild side, coming out there, throwing Tristan England in the red lane, and just clinching one of the best races I ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes. And just what more can you say, honestly? Like, other than hats off to him, I gotta say, I would actually have to disagree with you, though, Thomas. I have to put that maybe at the top 5, near 3, maybe. But who knows? I may be wrong. Now, do not come at me, pitchforks, ladies and gentlemen. I will not be happy.
Well, opinions are opinions. Anyway, so that was the episode of the podcast as we just went over the Monster Jam World Finals. Obviously, a very, very enjoyable event, and a lot of hype is going into Salt Lake City for 2025. Monster Jam is coming back in a couple weeks with their summer tour starting off at MetLife Stadium on June 1st. And us here on TF Motorsports, our next project is going to be about the 2024 Monster Jam season with January into the World Finals. It will be a full documentary of all the things that have happened, from the driver switches to the injuries to the and also to the emotion that happened all throughout. It's just been an incredible season, so that's why we have this in the works. Yep. So thank you everybody for joining us here on the TF Motorsports podcast. And at some point we will see you guys next time. Take care.